the Old Hook Windmill. It's been sitting proudly here on North Main Street in East Hampton since 1806. Welcome back to the East End here on News 12 Long Island. Along with windmills, Long Island's also fortunate to have a lot of historic lighthouses. Our next story is about a new cruise being offered where you can visit quite a few of them.
We started doing these lighthouse cruises out of New London in 2015 because of the popularity. We decided why not try to do these out of Orient Point as well, with the collection of lighthouses in the region. For a trip on the lighthouse cruise, it's $30 for adults and $15 for children. It is a family type adventure and we recommend it for families. It's 2 hours, so you're in and out, and it does offer a very unique perspective in getting up close and personal with these lighthouses. Thursdays through Sundays at 1:45 p.m. It's an approximately 2-hour trip. We have it narrated by a local expert, Ted Webb from Orient. We get to see up to 8 lighthouses. The town of Southold has more offshore lighthouses than any other town in the country.
Coming along the north side of Plum Island, I've grown up around them all of my life and called all over a lot of them, so I have good memories and I love the history of lighthouses. On the regular cruise, we see 8 offshore lighthouses and the site of one lighthouse that doesn't exist anymore out on, it's called the Ruins. There was a lighthouse out there and it got blown away in an 1888 nor'easter that came through. We see the Coffee Pot, which is at the end of Oyster Pond's Reef at the tip of Orient Point. That lighthouse has an interesting history. It was built back in the 1800s. Called the Coffee Pot because many years ago it was kind of a muddy brown color, and so local folks named it the Coffee Pot. But technically it's a spark plug type lighthouse. And if you look at it from a distance, it looks like a spark plug sticking up out of the water. And right across that is a Plum Island lighthouse, built in the 1870s, and it guided mariners through Plum Gut for over 100 years. And we visit Little Gull Light, which has been there for over 100 years. Little Gull is the home of one of the 2 known gray seal rookeries here on the East Coast. Sometimes we see them out there, sometimes they're vacationing. That's Race Rock Light, and that's a Gothic structure, one of my favorite lighthouses, built back in the 1880s. Guided mariners from Block Island Sound up into Long Island Sound.
Is there a lighthouse from the feedback you get from people that, I don't know, most intrigues them?
Well, I think the thing that intrigues people, they like to hear about the ghost stories on the lighthouses. And Race Rock is one of the lighthouses that's supposed to be inhabited by ghosts.
The lighthouse cruises are offered aboard the Seajet 1. Seajet 1 is a high-speed, wave-piercing catamaran that Crosstown Ferry acquired back in 1995. It primarily does round trips between New London and Orient Point as a ferry, but most recently has now served as an excursion boat. This is passenger-only, high-speed. It makes the trip across the Sound in 45 minutes. We just did extensive renovations over the course of the winter. All new seating, carpeting, cabins, new bar. We offer beverages, snacks, and it's open during the cruise. We also offer assisted listening devices for those who may want to use those on board.
Very quiet too, and smooth.
Right, we repowered the vessel back in 2016 with new engines, and it really cut down on the vibration of the vessel, smooth, quiet. So there are 3 levels to the vessel. We are on the main cabin. There's an upper cabin with interior seating, climate control cabins, air conditioning, and then there's a sun deck on top where you get a chance to view 360, a panoramic view of the lighthouses. And once we hit each lighthouse, the vessel does a 360, so everybody on board gets a chance to see the lighthouse and get an opportunity for photos.
What's the feedback like, when you hear people getting off the boats?
It's an overwhelming response to both Ted's narration, the cruise, what people are able to see on the cruise. People get a chance to get up close and a unique perspective on these lighthouses and to get a sense of history and the roles that they played.
The first light out here on Little Gull Island, a 50-foot hammered freestone tower. They're beacons of light and hope, I think, and they've been around for so long. They bring sailors back into safe harbor and keep them away from dangerous rocks and reefs. So that's their purpose. Can you imagine being out at sea for several months or even several years with the old whaleboats that sailed out of New London, out of Greenport, and out of Sag Harbor? And the first sign of life again were these lighthouses flashing at them. So that was pretty neat.
The Crosstown Ferry Lighthouse Tours are offered out of Orient Point. We'll give you the contact information for them, plus for the other locations we took you to on our show today, and we'll preview another great spot that we'll visit on our next show. All straight ahead on the East End, here on News 12 Long Island.